Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Nishchal Gupta. Today we are going to study about the poem titled On His Being Arrived at the Age of 23 by John Milton. Friends, this poem is a sonnet. As it is a sonnet, it has 14 lines. First 8 lines are called as octave, and the remaining 6 lines are known as sestet. It is a Petrarchan sonnet. Now we'll see the poem and see the meaning, and we'll try to understand the poem. The poem starts with, "How soon has time, the subtle thief of youth, stolen on his wing my 23rd year." In these 2 lines, the poet Milton has passed 23 years of his life, and he has entered into 24th year. And in some way, he is showing some surprise, impatience, that he has reached in his 24th year. He has crossed 23 years, past 23 years, and how soon he has entered into 24th year. And he has used one word, time, the subtle thief of youth. He has held time as the thief of his youth. As we all know that crossing 23 years and entering into 24th year is entering into manhood. So here in the same way, the poet has passed his 23 years of life. He has spent 23 years of his life, which were his youth time, and he has entered into manhood. So he is in a way, he is somewhat introspecting. He is thinking that how he has come to this stage of life. Now see, he has said here, stolen on his wing my 23rd year! Exclamation mark. So he has held, the poet has held time of stealing his 23 years of his life, and he is impatient. He is showing his arrogance here. In the next line, he is saying, "My hasting days fly on with full career, but my late spring no bud or blossom sheath." In this line, the poet is saying that my youth days, hasting days means very fast. Hasting days fly on with full career. Here the poet is saying that his youth flew very fast. His time of youth, that time spent very fast, and he has now entered into late spring phase of life, that is manhood. So he is introspecting, and he is saying that he has entered into 24th year of his life, but he has no significant achievement of his life so far. So in a way, he is expressing some problem with himself, and he is not happy in these lines. Now he is giving explanation. He is saying here in the 5th line, he is saying, "Perhaps my semblance might deceive the truth, that I to manhood am arrived so near, and inward ripeness do much less appear, that some more timely happy spirits endued." In these lines, the poet is saying that my semblance means appearance, my looks, might deceive the truth. Here the poet is saying that I may look less than my age, but my inward ripeness do much less appear. Here he is saying that I am mature. I am from within, I am mature. I may appear immature from outside or less than my age, but I am over these years I have developed maturity and I am ripe from inside, I am strong from inside. Yet be it less or more. Now this is ninth line, which is what starting of sestet. And here the poet, the problem of the poet is now has been explained by the poet, and now he is coming to the solution of the poem, which normally happens in a sestet, in an Petrarchan sonnet. So now this line starts like this: yet be it less or more. Now he is saying, here he is talking about his success. The poet is saying that he may be, whatever success he has achieved in his life, whether it is less or more, soon or slow, it shall be still in strictest measure, even to that same lot, however mean or high, toward which time leads me and the will of heaven. Here the poet is saying that the maturity and the success which he has achieved in these years, it is all because of God's will. And here he is now focusing on prayer, humble prayer, and he has surrendered himself to the will of heaven, that is the God's will. And here he is saying that God will lead him to what is right and how he should live his life and use his talents. He feels there is discrepancy between his inner maturity ripeness and his outward appearance, which is clear from this line, which is line number 7, that is, an inward ripeness do much less appear. So there is this discrepancy. But overall, the poet is emphasizing that whatever success, whatever maturity he is going to get, he has surrendered himself to God's will. Now in the coming years, he is totally dependent on God's will. He is fully sure, he is confident that all that he is and all that he might become will be a fulfillment of God's will. Now we'll see the last 3 lines. Towards which time leads me and the will of heaven, all is, if I have grace to use it so, as ever in my great taskmaster's eye. Again, there are 2 phrases here in these lines. First is will of heaven, and the next is great taskmaster's eye. These 2 phrases used here, they indicate about God and about the God's will. So the poet is saying in these lines that his success, his maturity, now whatever success he is going to get in life, achieve in life, whatever achievements he has to make, it is all now God's will, and he has surrendered himself to God. He is he is making humble prayer to the God that now whatever God is going to give me, I am going to accept that. So this is what the explanation of this poem is. I wish to tell certain poetic devices used in this poem. First poetic device which is used in the first line of the poem, that is metaphor. When we have this expression, that is time the subtle thief of youth. Time here is compared to a thief. So in this way, in this expression, there is metaphor. Then we have certain archaic words in this poem, which some students might find difficult, and these are archaic words. No need to find any difficulty, no need to worry, because they are no more in use. You may be knowing their latest form. For example, in the first line, the word is hath, H-A-T-H. It is has in the current form. Then we have another word, that is S-H-E-W-T-H. It is the word is here is, it is Shiyut, but the current form is show. Then we have another archaic word which is used in this 8th line at the end, that is Induth. Induth here means the current form of Induth word is endowed. Endowed means inherent capability, some quality which is inside. So these are some of the archaic words, and by this I feel that this poem has been properly explained. I am confident that you must have learned and gained something from this explanation. Thank you very much.